Hey, what's up, friend? You are you interested in lack of skill? Yeah. Or maybe some suck. I'm just a new guy for the love of game. Wait, don't go. I know it's bad. Times have changed, but not by mad. Don't you know that games are my thing? Yeah, I know it's getting real late. Come on, look at me. I even do storytelling. Also, podcasts on great game subjects. Okay, yeah, I'm not a Markiplier or a PewDiePie. But hey, that's what makes me so unique, right? 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 Oh yeah, what's up everyone? How you doing?
You're gonna see what Jerry Wheel is all about.
Yeah, this is the Niko Show. Yeah, I hope you guys are ready for this episode because this is a very, very exciting episode. You know why? Because this is our 64th episode, and guess what? We're talking about, yeah, the N64. You get it, right? The Nintendo 64. We're talking all about it. Yes, it's super exciting, right? It's so unique, right?
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Okay, apparently not too much for everybody. But yes, we were supposed to do this last episode for the Niko Show, but then I realized it was the 63rd episode, so,
Stop right there, criminal scum!
yeah, it's not very pretty and pleasant. So I hope you guys are doing well out there. Are you staying safe? Are you doing what you need to do to survive in whatever you want to call it out there? Because I am, and, you know, we're all doing our best. We're all struggling to get along in the world. And if you do what I do, you can do anything. Which is what exactly, Niko? I don't know. Wear a hoodie on and no underpants. No, underpants, but you can't see me right now, but that's okay. I just want to say that this is also being streamed on YouTube, Twitch, and this will be eventually on Spotify. How exciting. There are more ways to hear Niko's beloved voice, or obnoxious voice, or girly voice, or manly voice. It's whatever you prefer. I prefer corn dogs in my butt. Oh no.
Way past cool!
Chili dogs, apparently. Okay, this is a very special episode, and I hope you guys are ready for this. I really hope you guys are excited for this, because this is going to be a trip down memory lane for me, for you guys, and we're going to be talking all about the Nintendo 64. I wanted to make this a special, positive stream. No, just kidding. I don't want to use that adjective. It's not an adjective, Niko. What? It's not? Uh-oh.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I only woke up about 40 minutes ago. Ooh, was it 40 minutes ago? No, it was about, yeah, okay, close enough, 40 minutes ago. All right, so guys, let's get the Niko personal life business and games I'm playing business out of the way, so we can dive right into this. If you're new to the Niko Show or never heard of it before, and this is your first episode, what Niko does is that I go through things that I'm doing in my life that's RL, and then video games that I'm playing right now and that I want to play. It's kind of like breaking the ice a little bit, and also it kind of gives people a chance to come into the stream and hear the really good stuff, and you know, we get the boring stuff out of the way. So let's talk about myself. So as NikoTheLegend, we are almost done with the second draft on the NikoTheLegend book. Yeah, that's right. The second draft is almost done. We are about 6 chapters away until the second draft is done. Isn't that exciting? That's exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. That's right. You better give me a round of fucking applause because I worked hard on that shit. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we are super close on finishing. I'm really excited. We got some big chapters to go through in these last few, on the last leg of the journey of the second draft. And then, guys, we got to get this book copyright. We got to get it patented, and then take it to an editor, and then get it edited, and then we get it published, and then so on and so forth. And then I become a millionaire right off the bat, right? That's how it's going to work. Well, with your help, it's possible. But that's really exciting news for me. But in the meantime, I'm currently looking for a second job. So, looking hard. So I say, right? I could be looking even harder because I probably would have got one by now. There was a mentorship job at a behavioral firm, and I could have got that, but it's contracting. I don't want a contracting job. I need a steady income. I wish it would have been great because it has something to do with psychology. I was really excited. It was a mentorship that has me counseling kids from ages 5 to 17 and all that, and it was close by, but it's a contracting job. I already have a contracting job. You know what that is? Personal training. And we got a new client a couple days ago, so, slowly making more money is great. It's really, really great. It's unfortunate about the mentorship job because I would have had the best of both worlds. I would have had 2 jobs. One where I got certified in personal training, and the second is what I went to school for, bachelor's in psychology. I would have been utilizing both. It's a shame. So yeah, right now we are looking for that second job, and that's okay. No time like the present. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm still thinking about it. Because maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe I will get clients right off the bat. I mean, money is money, right? Am I right? Money is money. Come on. So, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say. Or I like this one, beggars can't be choosers. So that's really what's mainly happening with me in RL is the book's almost done, the second draft, and then we're looking for a second job. A lot of seconds. I want a helping seconds of like Crunchwrap Supremes where I just poop my pants every day, which I kind of did this morning. Not the pants, but the toilet. Oh no. Okay, I was waiting for that to go off. Anakin, you gotta speak up, man. You're not in Mustafar yet. Oh, wait. Actually, that sound bit is after Mustafar. Shit, I don't know my Star Wars stuff. Which, speaking of Star Wars, we are going to be doing a very special Niko episode coming up eventually. Maybe the next one after this. I wanted to make this the super special N64 edition one. But it's going to be all about Star Wars. Okay? And I'm going to have 2 lovely ladies on there as special guests. So I can't wait to hear the debauchery we discuss. It's going to be fun. I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be great. All right, see you later. Just kidding. Okay, now let's talk about the games that I'm playing currently. If there's a main game I'm trying to beat, it's, of course, a JRPG. It's Tales of Zestiria. Now, let me tell you something about that game. If you ever played a Tales game, then you know how good the writing is. You know how cool the characters are, the world building. And Tales of Zestiria has been the game that's been hit or miss for some people, from what I gathered from reading reviews and stuff. And there's some things that I'm like, okay, people talk about the combat, which I think it was like the main thing that people had a problem with. I believe so. But hey, when I played the game, I had absolutely no problem with it. I love Tales of Zestiria. You see, with the combat and everything, maybe I'm just too nice of a guy, but I've dealt with some horrible combat in games, and I managed to still enjoy something out of it. I guess I give it benefit of the doubt. But that's not me saying that Tales of Zestiria's combat is bad. I actually like it better than the other combat that they usually have. I don't know. I find it great. I love the story. The character, the writing in the game is just phenomenal. I love the characters, of course. Everything about it just hits home really well. And all the characters are so memorable. They have such interesting quirks. They're very well written. And the Tales series of games, they don't mess around with character building and stuff like that. And I like the plot of it. It's pretty cool being the shepherd, almost like a Jesus Messiah type character. And, everybody looks up to you and you feel the pressures of being that. And it wasn't really your choice to be the shepherd entirely. It's one of those things. So, yeah, give it a shot, guys. Still trying 100% Paper Mario. We're almost there. I play it little by little. Before I go to bed, I try to clear out one area, trying 100% each area. It takes a little bit. I love that game. The game was a ton of fun. The only thing I hate about the game is not the combat. I don't care about the combat. It's the fact that you can only have one save file per account. They pulled the same shit as they did with Animal Crossing. And Animal Crossing, okay, I can kind of understand, but a RPG game, only one save file? What's up with that, right? What happens to, I want to have a completed file, and then I want to start over on a different file? Why Why do developers do that? What? I want to know the philosophy behind that. I seriously want to know. I'm not trying to sound like a dick or anything, but I'm Nintendo developers. Why do you do that? Why only one save file per account? I want to add more game time. I want to play your game over and over and over. I don't want to delete the file I spent more than 50 hours on. And what's up with that? I don't get it. Are people not complaining about this shit enough? I'm sure they do. We made it. Oh, another game. We made it to max level on Final Fantasy 14. We're just grinding to get that good old MMO gear, the end game stuff. So that's always exciting. And of course, what I'm streaming right now mainly is The Elder Scrolls, Zelda Twilight Princess, and Dragon Age Inquisition. There's some solid 3 games right there. Yeah, that's right. I don't mess around, motherfuckers.
Way past cool.
Yeah. This is a no contest type playlist here.
No contest.
Now, let's get to the best part of this. Are you guys ready? Are you guys fucking ready to talk about the N64? The Nintendo 64 from the great old Nintendo themselves. Let's get hyped up right now. Yeah, get hyped up. Ooh, yeah, feel it.
Even
Further beyond the N64. Like I said, this is the 64th episode of the Niko Show. The N64 episode. N64th episode. I couldn't name it properly because I'm like
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Now, before I talk about my personal experience, so what we'll do here, I will describe what the N64 is in case any of you Z generation Zoomers out there don't know what the fuck it is. Okay, you're playing on your little switches. Don't worry, I have a Switch, guys, too. It's a fantastic console. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the Wikipedia explanation of what the N64 was and how much it sold, and just give a little bit of background. We need to build the foundation, and then we will get to when I got an N64 and how much it shaped my life as a gamer and how much I enjoyed the hell out of it. Oh my god! All right, here we go. So let's see if I can do this properly. There we go. That's the. I'll just pop. You know what? I could pop it up on here on the big screen since you're not seeing my face right now. I think a sneeze is coming out, so I got to be careful. Now, the N64. Officially abbreviated as the N64. No, just kidding. The Nintendo 64 officially abbreviated as the N64. Hardware model number per term NUS stylized as whatever. Is a home video game console developed and marketed by Nintendo. Named for its 64-bit central processing unit, which was more than the PlayStation, by the way. Okay. It was released in June 1996 in Japan, September 1996 in North America, and March 1997 in Europe and Australia. It was the last major home console to use the ROM cartridge as its primary storage format until the Switch in 2017. It took them over 20 years to come back to the cartridge. Crazy, right? The N64 was discontinued in 2002 following the launch of its successor, the GameCube, in 2001, which the GameCube was a huge successor to the N64. It's unbelievable how awesome that console was. But we'll save the GameCube discussion for another day. Codenamed Project Reality, the N64 design was mostly complete by mid-1995, but its launch was delayed until 1996 when Time named it Machine of the Year. It was launched with 3 games, Super Mario 64, Pilot Wings 64, and Sayuku Habu Shogi, exclusive in Japan, as part of the 5th generation of video game consoles. Okay, Super Mario 64, huge fucking launch game. Anyway, it competed primarily with the Sony PlayStation and Sega Saturn. The suggested retail price as its United States launch was US $200, equivalent to $326 in 2019, which is inflation cost. But hear me out. That inflation cost is not as much as like the PlayStation 1's inflation cost was. Okay, if we dived in inflation costs to the PlayStation 1 today, I think the PlayStation 1 was like $150 or something, or $200, something like that. It'd be $500 for today. Absolutely insane, right? The N64, Nintendo's always went the cheaper route, for the most part, okay? At least in this occasion. As of December 2009, 32.93 million units have been sold worldwide. In 2015, IGN named it the 9th greatest video game console of all time. The 9th, of course, they're Sony fans. They picked the PlayStation 2. Which the PlayStation 2 is a fantastic console, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good memories on that. Well, now that we have a foundation of what the N64 is, let's go talk about Niko's upbringing with the N64. So, it all started when I finally remembered what the hell I was doing in my life. 4 years old, just waking up out of bed and just going outside and just living the world to my best life. With my best life. To the best life? I don't remember. It's one of those moments where, like I said, you just woke up. I don't know what's going on. I don't remember anything before that happened. Just maybe fragments, right? Bits and pieces. Just like how we all deal with. And I had 2 older brothers, right? Great guys. Don't have any problems with them. Love them to death, of course. And I hope they love me back. I'm actually seeing them for Labor Day weekend, so I can't wait for that chance to reunite. Now, my older brothers they are the ones that, they were the gurus. They were the godfathers of what got me into video games in the first place. Or maybe it was pure curiosity, I just don't remember. But they were a heavy inspiration for me because they owned the original Nintendo and a Super Nintendo. And we had an Atari. But I don't think that was ours. I think that might have been my dad's or someone's. Maybe not. Maybe we did. We had an Atari. I don't know when we got that, but it was the cool Atari. It was one of the later models. It was the brown, black version, the sleek version, if you want to call it that. Anyway, I mainly remember playing the Super Nintendo and the old Nintendo, and these were their consoles. I never had my own console until, well, we'll get to that in a second. Until the N64 came around. So for the longest time, I was just playing the Super Nintendo. I was getting in all these great games. Same thing with the original Nintendo. We had our Mega Mans, we had our Marios, our Zeldas, Final Fantasies. Although I never played Final Fantasy until way later in life. Yep, interesting, right? But yeah, it's the truth. I didn't play Final Fantasy until, I think early 90s or early 2000s. Yeah, it took me a while, but that's okay. That's another discussion for another time. And I'm trying to remember when the N64 came to mind. I think I was reading about it maybe in an Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine, or I saw commercials for it. Or I had my brothers tell me about it. And my brothers were really adamant about me getting an N64. They were really curious on what it was, and as was I, because the N64 was just, when you saw those commercials on TV, you were blown away. This was a console with 3D graphics. As a kid, coming from 2D, playing the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo for so long, for about 6+ years, breaking all those controllers and stuff, Mortal Kombat style, those controllers really I did my own fatality to them. It was kind of a sad scene. Yeah. Anyway, when the N64 started trickling into our minds, we wanted it. We saw the commercials, we saw it in magazines, we saw it everywhere. We knew it was coming, and this was a big deal of a console. And I wanted one, and my brothers wanted me to get one. Now, when the console came out, I didn't get it right away, because it came out in 1996. I didn't get the one that came with the N64, that bundle. I got mine with the Star Fox 64 bundle. And you want to know what? The Star Fox 64 bundle was the bomb diggity. I was that kid. I didn't have the Super Mario 64 bundle. I had the Star Fox 64 bundle. And do you guys remember that really ridiculous N64 kid Christmas video of the kid screaming as he's opening up a present with the N64 in it? That was me. I shit you not, but on my birthday. But except my brothers told me to scream when I got one, which I still remember doing the scream to this day. It was really cheesy. But I remember my birthday was coming up. I think it was my 7th birthday, I believe. And I remember just waiting in my bedroom, and I think either my parents or my brothers told me to go to the kitchen for something. They kind of let me know that I was going to get an N64. They told me to scream, but I still didn't know what to expect because it could have been a troll, So as I go into the kitchen, I see the fucking console on the table. I think my dad was standing there, and my mom, I don't remember. And I just died. I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was super excited, super stoked, because the box was fucking huge, the N64 box, and it came with Star Fox 64 I believe. I believe there was a bundle. If not, I got the game with it, okay? If it wasn't bundled up. It's been a while since I've been down memory lane with this. I got it. Super stoked to play it. I plugged that bad boy right in, and we would play in Star Fox 64 all day long. I don't remember if I got any other game with it, but guys, I never owned Super Mario 64. I was deemed it interesting that I didn't, because I played the hell out of that game, because I used to rent games all the time from the local, video game store, or the the movie store, whatever, the rental store. God, I can't even think of the name. Durr.
Liar!
So we got the N64, and I didn't stop playing that bad boy for the longest time. I still have my N64, by the way. It is still chilling. Chilling, guys. It's still alive. It's still working. I never will ever trade that bad boy in. Now, Star Fox 64 was one of the most special games of my entire life. I should have it in the top 3, but I don't. My top 3 is Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy 9, and Mega Man X. Okay, and those are some great games to have in your top 3. I kid you not. Now, as the years go on, now remember, this is the first console I ever owned, so it was just a special experience of just having that ownership. And of course, we were waiting for the really, really special game. Now, Star Fox 64 was in line with that, same with all the other games we got for it, but this game, Zelda, Ocarina of Time, was the game of my dreams. This was the game that I wanted more than anything. And I'm trying to remember if I did get it for my birthday at one point. It came out in 1998, so I already had, it came out a year later. I remember seeing commercials of it on TV, in magazines, upcoming, electronic gaming monthly magazines, or just, I had, what is it called? I had sources, okay, to know this was coming out. And I wanted this game with a dying passion. And when I got it, I was in love with this game. This game is what really, really created my fantastical journey of imagination, determination, and just having a fun freaking time playing this 3D adventure game. And I used to play the first Zelda game all the time on the original Nintendo. We still have it, of course, with the gold cartridge. Unfortunately, we didn't get the gold cartridge for the N64 one, even though it was like I got it maybe about a couple days after it came out, or maybe a week later. I got it real soon, real quick. And I just remember, as soon as I got it, I didn't stop playing it. Days on, days end. I remember waking up early on school mornings, just playing it for about an hour, going to school, coming back, just playing it all day long. My brother and I were sucked in this game. My middle brother, him and I used to play this game all the time. He really liked it a lot. My oldest brother didn't really care for the Ocarina of Time game. It was really weird. It's strange, right? It's like we were all into the same games, but then I guess that's when it started to divulge into something else. He just wasn't interested in Ocarina of Time. It was crazy. But my middle brother and I were. We had a fantastic time. And I'm going to go talk to him about it. I'm like, dude, remember when we played the shit out of Ocarina of Time? Now, hear me out, guys. Video games around this time were long, but they were nowhere near as long as like The Witcher 3 or any open world game you can think of. I think Ocarina of Time might have been like a 20-hour adventure, but we didn't realize it. It felt like a lifetime when you're a kid around that age, because seeing Zelda in a fantastical 3D adventure was just, it was a dream come true. And we'll get to the other games. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. We're going to talk about the Niko's top 10 list. But before we get into that, guys, the N64 has stuck around with me for so long. It holds a special place dear to my heart. And it's a console I think every retro collector gamer should have, because it has 4 players capabilities. It's got fantastic multiplayer games, fantastic single-player games. It's a blast to play. And it's just a cool-looking console. It's a great looking console. It has some solid games for it. And I'm actually glad I went that route instead of the... Well, you see, I say that now because I'm biased, because they're like, oh, I got an N64. I'm kind of glad I didn't go the Sony route. But I'm sure if I went the Sony route, I'd be playing games like Final Fantasy, okay? Like Crash or Spyro or all those other games, But You gotta know your roots, right? We stuck with my roots. We didn't own a Sega console until the Dreamcast came out. We never owned a Genesis or anything like that. I always used to go to people's houses to play the Genesis, to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, I didn't really like the first Sonic game. The second one was definitely my favorite. I have great memories. Now, we will go through now the top 10 list of NikoTheLegend's N64 games. I'm going to bring this up right here. So we'll take a little sneak peek of it. See it right there? Oh yeah, we see a little sneak peek right there. Okay, good. Now we're going to go one by one here, folks. We're going to go one by one here. So let's give this list a round of applause. And we will go through the memories of it. Okay, now, we just talked about this. Number 1, it was The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Okay, this is in my top 3 games list for a reason. This is a game I spent countless hours playing. I just couldn't put it down. It just answered it filled in all my medieval fantasy slots of what makes me love that genre and universe of games. This is the game that really, really made me have fun with the console. Like, I still have my N64 copy of Ocarina of Time. It will be with me for the rest of my life. If I ever lose that, I will be disappointed in myself. I really will. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Good times. I've been playing Twilight Princess, which is a fantastic game. It's the true sequel to Ocarina of Time. It's like a souped up, upgraded, modernized version. You know, it's fantastic. Now, this next one, Mario 64. This is a game I never owned, but this is also a game I rented all the time and played the hell out of it. It was a amazing 3D platforming game. It was just never ending, man. I collected. Guys, this was one of the first games that I 100% in my entire life was Mario 64. Getting 120 stars? I remember getting all of them. And then hearing the rumors about Luigi being in the game, or being able to ride Yoshi, well, that was a disappointment. Luigi was originally in it, but he was taken out. And then Yoshi was on top of the Peach's castle, and then he just talks to you and says, hey, congrats. That's it. So it was a bit disappointing, but you know what? It was the first game I ever 100%. This was a fantastic 3D Mario adventure. It was a blast. I love the worlds. I love the music. I think Mario 64 has the best soundtrack, honest to God, besides Super Mario World, okay? Mario 64's soundtrack was out of this world. Of course, I'm remembering all the good things. I'm sure there were some annoying things like the underwater levels and just drowning or falling off cliffs. That was just a part of the whole pie there, okay? But overall, it was a fantastic game. Look, it still holds up to be a good platformer. It just looks like ass these days. It has not aged well. So I'm hoping Nintendo, you remaster this game or remake it to its fullest glory, and it looks fantastic. I believe this game has earned the right of a good remake or a reboot. Not a reboot, or a good remaster, whatever you want to call it. Make it happen. Mario Party. Okay, this is our first multiplayer game that we discussed. Mario Party was that game that made you hate each other and breaking friendships up. Okay, this was the game that you would just really become shitty friends and just fuck each other over and over. And it's such a bombastic idea for a game. It's basically a board game simulation version of Mario World, of a Mario game, right? You roll a dice. Tells you how many spaces you go. Everybody takes a turn. 4 players going, and once the turn's over, you duke it out in a mini game for coins, and then you use those coins you save up to buy a star. Now, there are other means of getting the coins and stars, and that's what makes it so great. It really, really makes people stressed out and pissed off. I can't count the times that people have gotten mad at me for stealing stars from them, or coins, or just winning every fucking minigame. Guys, I was like the fucking pantheon god of Mario Party. I would win every single game that people... Hear me out. For people that are hearing this, that have played Mario Party with me, you know what I'm talking about. People don't like playing with me. My roommates don't like playing with me. My friends don't like playing with me. I don't know about my brothers, but... this was a game that you would spend hours and hours on it. It was so fun. Man, imagine if this was like when I was 7 or 8 years old, right? Imagine if I was older and we invented drinking games for this shit. Which people do invent drinking games for any game, but Mario Party around that time, oh my god, I can only imagine what the adults did. Could have been fucking crazy. But this was like such a fun game to play with people, man. It's like you can do it for 20 turns each, 20 turns total in the board game. 35 and then motherfucking 50, okay? I had the first one. I never bought the second one. Never bought the third one. What was it? Jeez, I don't own that many Mario Party games. I don't own the Mario Party 1 game anymore. It got lost in time. I'm really sad about it because it stuck with me for so long, too. I don't know what happened to it. But maybe I still do have it around here. Maybe somewhere. Waiting for me to discover once again. Anyway, Mario Party was one of those games that I spent countless hours on playing with friends. And the N64 was that console. It had its solid single-player games, but you know where the fun lied? Was the multiplayer games. And we're going to be there's a lot of multiplayer games on this list. Like, actually, the rest of the games on this list are multiplayer games. Oh, God. Mario Party 1 had a single-player game, and it was just you going through this unique board and just beating mini-games. And I remember the very last minigame is winning the slot car derby game. Fuck that minigame. That minigame's a piece of shit. Everybody hates that minigame. But you had to beat Toad. I think Toad was the last guy. And I could never beat him. And I was getting so mad. This is a 7-year-old, 8-year-old me. That my mom shut the game off mid-session. And I was just like, Mom! Why? Because I was just fucking getting angry and mad. And I don't think I was swearing. Maybe I was. I don't remember. My mom wasn't having it. But then I hated my mom. And I fucking beat her up. No, just kidding. But you hear stories about people shutting consoles off or destroying consoles. Parents doing that to the kids, and the kids go AWOL. I didn't really go AWOL. It was a good thing that she did that. Had to pull the plug. Man. Good freaking times. Before we go into the next game, Mario Party, look, I like the first game probably had the best boards to me. Because they were the most unique. They were the most bombastic. No board map was the same. They were themed for each character in the game. The second game, of course, is probably the best Mario Party. Just because the mini games they took from the first game were just built better. They had some great original games. The boards were fun. They were stylized. They had certain themes to them as well. But they were themed to like westerns, sci-fi, Safari, and you guys dressed up for the role. It was cool. Didn't really play Mario Party 3 too much. I rented it and I didn't like it that much. I think I just didn't like the board games and stuff like that. But the mini games I remember were fun. Anyway, Mario Party, so many countless memories of fear and rage. And you took that fear and rage with you through all the other Mario Party games. And there's been how many, like a total of 13 or 14 now? God, it's crazy. Good fucking times. Now, this one is very special because this is the first N64 game I've ever owned. Star Fox 64. How can we not love this game? This was made by Rareware when Rareware was at its best. Well, it was at its best on the Super Nintendo and the N64. Rareware made so many fantastic 3D games, or I don't have to say 3D, so many masterpieces of games on the N64. Okay, we had Goldeneye, we had Star Fox 64, we had Conker's Bad Fur Day, we had Perfect Dark, we had Donkey Kong 64. There was Banjo-Kazooie. Can't forget Banjo-Kazooie, man. Banjo-Tooie. I mean, holy shit, guys. That's huge. Jet Force Gemini. I mean, man, they lived on this console. It was fantastic. Star Fox 64 was just a blast. We had Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. I didn't really like it that much because, well, you guys all know why. It was hard as balls, and the graphics, the FX chip, the frames were horrible in that game. It's really hard to enjoy it. Now, when Star Fox 64 came out, that was the behemoth to behold. Okay, this was the game that really stood above the competitors in terms of multiplayer and single player. This was a blast of a like. Look, if you didn't have a Star Wars flying game, this was that replacement. Star Fox 64 was that game, and it was just so cool to fly around on these different planets, choosing which path we want to take depending on how we beat the level. There was multiple pathways in these levels of flying. It's almost like an RPG. It was like it had some slight RPG mechanics in it, and it was fantastic. You had a crew of these animals who were like humanoid animals. You had Star Fox, you had Falco, Slippy, and Peppy, who were all memorable in their own way. We had Slippy, say something.
Fox, get this guy off me.
Okay, we had Star Fox saying, I don't even remember what Star Fox says half the time. But we had Peppy with the famous do a barrel roll. We had Falco saying, "Hey Einstein, I'm on your side." You know, everyone had memorable lines, and they were all cool in their own right. It was so awesome to play those characters. Single player was great, man. I tried 100% that game by getting all the medals and just killing as many flying ships as possible. The only medal I didn't have, what was it? I think there was 2 medals or something. No, there was 1 medal. It was the fucking Aquos level. Fuck that level with a passion. It was a submarine level. I hated that level with a passion. If there was anything wrong with that game, it was that fucking planet. I hated the submarine level. It was cool to see you going underwater and everything, but oh my god, it was such a pain in the ass. It was so slow. I liked the tank. I liked the plane, but I hated the submarine. Oh my god. It was so bad. And if you get all the medals in the game, then you get to unlock hard mode. And if you get all the medals on hard mode, you get to unlock a multiplayer feature that's allows you to walk around out of your ship. You don't have to be in your tank or R-Wing. You can walk around and shoot the shit out of people. So the multiplayer in that game was very basic, but it was fun as fuck though. Just flying around, chasing each other, doing barrel rolls, spinneroonies, people in tanks, people in R-Wings. Oh my god, it was 4-player heaven, man. It was so fun. Just blasting the shit at each other. There was a time where I haven't played it for about like 10 plus years, and my friend had friends from California. They had an emulated version of the game on their computer, and I remember we were playing multiplayer. Oh my god, dude. I was like, man, this is so much fun. It was like 10 plus years later. It was a blast to play. It was so cool. Anyway, Star Fox 64 holds a special place in my heart, of course. All these games that we're listing hold special places in my heart, but Star Fox 64 was the first N64 game I've ever owned, and the first game I've ever owned entirely. So it's definitely up there in the upper echelon of games that are near and dear to my heart. Now, the next game is a game that probably no one saw coming to be good, and it is one of the best games ever made on this entire planet. You can fucking fight me on that. This is Goldeneye. Yes, we're talking about the Pierce Brosnan Goldeneye game, a movie game, a movie title in video game format that Rareware worked on. Goldeneye was one of the best shooter games ever made and to own, and it was on the N64. Talk about a solid campaign experience that lived pretty much frame by frame to the movie. Okay, just bear with me, video game format. The single player game was fantastic, but that's not what we came to talk about. The multiplayer was ridiculous. It was the most interesting shooter multiplayer experience ever. You want to talk about an arena shooter? This game was the most what the fuck kind of arena shooter I've ever played, because they really made you feel like you were boxed in on these levels. They were never really open. It's like there was always a ceiling, a floor, walls surrounding you. There was no like Halo open landscape type levels or anything like that. You were always trapped in a building. And it was cool though. It was like a nice claustrophobic feel to it. You were either in a facility, a cave, a pyramid, I don't even, like you fucking name it, or ruins. It was ridiculous. And the amount of characters you got to pick in the game was awesome. You could pick 007, you could pick legacy characters from the past. 007 games like Objob. Everyone loves motherfucking Objob, right? Lol. I was the guy who picked Objob. No one wanted you to be Objob. Motherfucker was my jam. He didn't have to crouch worth shit. There was Jaws, there was Boris, there was 006. You know, there were so many other characters in the game from other 007 games or movies. And it was just a blast. They had so many different guns you could use. All the different the customization options for the matches were fucking out of this world. What weapons do you want to do? What kind of... Do you want to do capture the flag? Do you want to have a time limit? Do you want to... You know, they had all these different presets. You know, they were great. What cheat codes did you want to put in? Paintball mode, big head mode, it didn't matter. Golden gun mode, throwing knives only. Oh my lord, no matter what you picked, the game was fucking phenomenal. Oh, it was just... Oh my god, it was so much fun. Oh my god, it was... Dude, we had that game and we just spent countless hours on it. Oh my god. And to this day, okay, back in like 2010, okay, I worked at this resort. And I met a group of guys there. They were all cool and chill as fuck. And we were all just reminiscing one day. We were like lifeguards pretty much at this resort. And we were just all reminiscing one day together when the day was done, our lifeguard duty. We were just talking about the N64 and how fun it was and all these good times. And I was like, dudes, why don't we like all hang out sometime and like play the N64, man? And that right there was the beginning of something great. Every Friday, we'd all meet up. We'd buy bags of hot fries. We'd buy beer and just... It was a horrible combination. Okay, hear me out. And we bring over our N64s, 2 at the most, okay? And we plug that in, and we would just play these games for hours. We played Goldeneye. We played Mario Kart. We played wrestling. But it was mainly Goldeneye and Mario Kart 64. We played Mario Party. Oh my god, it's... Goldeneye, I've never played Goldeneye competitively because I was too young to even know what the fuck that was really around the time when the game came out. But Goldeneye competitive is no fucking joke, okay? It was no fucking joke. I wish that game was like MLG format. Oh my god, I would watch that. That'd be great. Anyway, that's how you know a game has aged well and is so much fun to this day. It's that you can just go back and play it and you're just like, oh my god, this is fun. We haven't done it in a long time, but... That just goes to show that this game was above the rest. And it was a movie game. A movie game, guys. Movie games converted to video games or movies converted to video games are never great, usually. They're usually half-assed, but Rareware knew what they were fucking doing. That was great. Okay. I could talk about that all day long, man. Next one. This one is a fan favorite of mine. I think this is a guilty pleasure of mine. But okay, remember when WCW and NWO was out? I was that guy. I wasn't watching WWF or WWE, whatever you want to call it. My brothers and I would watch WCW. We had Diamond Dallas Page, we had Goldberg, Rey Mysterio, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash. I mean, fucking Eddie Guerrero, all those motherfucking people, right? Sting, can't forget Sting. Ric Flair, those were the guys I looked up to and for wrestling and stuff. And WCW NWO Revenge, it was that game. That was the most coolest, badass wrestling game I've ever played. And you know what? I haven't played many wrestling games to this day because I don't know. It's like the Revenge game just kept a certain charm and magic to it to where my soul is owned by it. And I still have the game too. I still have it. And I also had one of those experiences where I was playing with my friends like decades later, and it was still a fucking blast to play. Talk about a game where you can have fun making your own character. Or could you make your own character? No, there was another wrestling game. It was a WrestleMania game, I think. It was for WWF or something. But talk about a game where all the characters you wanted to be, your favorite wrestlers were there. The graphics, they were good for around that time. It was cool seeing that. Talk about, just having a fun time in the ring. The gameplay was solid. It was so funny and silly. All the things you can do and all the things you can screw up on. Oh my god, it was so fun to play. Who remembers playing that, endless mode or something where you just wrestle one wrestler at a time. You pin one person, and then the next person would come out, and you never knew who would come out. It was so great. Anyway, oh man, it was just such a fantastic experience to play. It just had such a great ensemble. It just worked so well. It was a sports game that just was fun, you know, that the mechanics weren't broken, they weren't half-assed, okay? If you play, it wasn't like that 2K wrestling game that came out a year ago. No, not even fucking close. But Revenge was that game. Another multiplayer game that my brothers and I would play endless nights. My brothers would take that game over to their friend's house and play that for days on end. They'd be playing Goldeneye, Revenge, and Mario Party, and all that jazz. This was one of my favorite sports games that I played. Fake sports, if I guess you want to be really technical, but still. Now, this next one, Mario 64. I know we talked about it before, but man, this Mario game just blew the competition, man. When people saw that Mario was having a 3D adventure and stuff, and those commercials of the kid flipping backwards into the painting with Mario, I mean, talk about a fucking cool commercial. Talk about just busting the balls of Sony and Sega. I mean, Nintendo was really supposedly competing with Sega. The whole Nintendo Don't slogan, like Sega was feeling some kind of way. Nintendo was just minding its own business for the most part, and Super Mario 64 was the best launch title they could have ever had for a 3D generation of a console. It did the job well. It did it justice. I just remember going back and forth trying to collect all those stars, all the ones that I had already, just wanting to hear the music playing, going across the worlds, and just having a blast with the levels. They were so expansive and fun. And it was the first game I ever... No. Yeah. I was going to say Mega Man X was the first game I ever 100%. No, it wasn't, because I never got the Hadouken thing in Mega Man X. That was till way later. But Mario 64 was the first game I spent hours on trying to 100%, getting all those stars. I would say Zelda Ocarina, but I could never get the last two heart containers for my life. I couldn't do it. Oh, it was so sad. So sad. But Mario 64 was definitely the first one, and I hope it gets remade. I hope the 35th anniversary Mario, man, it's going to look amazing if it comes back. It's for the Fighting Force. It's going to be a sight to behold for sure. Now, like I said, you can still enjoy Mario 64, guys. If you have a Dolphin emulator, if you got the N64 with your copy, put that bad boy back in and have a blast. It's still a good time. All right, now, also Mario 64 didn't have multiplayer. It wasn't until the DS version that came out that had multiplayer. But Mario 64 was a fantastic single player experience, man. Talk about a game with many nooks and crannies, just like Ocarina of Time. It's pretty amazing. Now, this next game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Ooh, talk about another Rareware game to be blessed. Oh my god, I put Mario 64 on this list twice. How fucking dare I? I'll have to add another game at the end, which I kind of already know. This is a dead giveaway. Of course, it's going to be on here. Okay, we'll get to it later. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Okay, now this was a strange game for me to get into because I didn't get into Conker's Bad Fur Day maybe until the GameCube was out, when I had a friend who owned the game. And I didn't know what to really expect out of this game because I don't think anybody really did. This was a game to where it was a 3D platforming game, which was cool. It had a special main character named Conker who was a red squirrel, which I thought was cool. Who was in Diddy Kong. He was a nice little squirrel, and now in this game he was just like, I don't give a fuck type squirrel. He grew up. And I just remember my friends showing me back in like 2002 or 3. No, it was 2003 or so. Yeah, it was that much later. I think I want to say they showed me it, or was it my friends in California? Friends in Florida, friends in California. I can't remember. But it was introduced to me late in the game. Back when the next generation of consoles was out, PlayStation 2 was out, the original Xbox was out, the GameCube was out, you know. But it wasn't until my friends in Florida that when I moved here, they showed me Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I was like, what is this game? A squirrel getting drunk, a squirrel pissing, a squirrel all about boobs and pollinating flowers and dealing with shit monsters and killing zombies. Like, what is this game? Turns out it was a fucking badass game with an attitude, and Rareware just not giving a fuck and really stepping up their A game. Oh my god, this game could have been an A-rated game, but it wasn't. It wasn't, which was great. Talk about a game to play to feel like a badass, that you felt like a mature individual. And do you remember the commercials? Oh, I'm sure you remember the commercials. If you don't, you need to check those out. They're pretty funny. Now, surprisingly, the multiplayer in this game was awesome. It was fantastic and fun. And it had cheat codes too. Don't forget the cheat codes. The multiplayer was a really great... Oh my god, dude. I can't even describe what the multiplayer created. It was badass. If Rareware... Oh my god. Rareware was a fucking masterful company on the N64. They like knew how to make each game work for what they were trying to aim for. So Conker's Bad Fur Day was special because it was a third-person shooter game, a third-person platforming game, but a multiplayer was mainly third-person shooter. And you have your death matches, your capture the flag, you had your heists, you know, that was really fun, collecting bags of cash and bringing it back to your vault. It was a free-for-all usually. You had your tanks, you had tank battles, you had your racing, which racing was trash. That was my least favorite. And then you had your death match, which you get to pick different characters from the Conker game and just shooting each other up. But there was one mode in that game that what really made it stand the test of time, and from the rest of what shooters are today. Total War was the fucking game mode of all game modes. Total War. Squirrels versus, let's see, American squirrels, let's just say that, versus Nazi teddies. The teddies were supposed to be the Nazi bears of Germany. And you basically storm the beaches of Teddy Normandy in the game as Conker, which is really fun. It's supposed to be like a Saving Private Ryan thing, right? That was like the thing to do back in the day. And there's only 2 maps in it, but that's okay. The 2 maps that they had were a blast. Oh my lord. It was so cool. And hear me out. It's okay, if you play 4 players, that's it. You can't have any computers with you. It was 2-on-2. But if you had 2 players playing only, you could play with computers. It was the bomb diggity no matter how you played it. You could kill each other in it, right? Whoever eliminated each other the most, or captured the canisters and took it to certain places, blah, blah, blah. They had like some capture the flag type deal stuff, and it was cool. But you could really play it your way. And the level designs for the 2 levels they had were just so creative and unique that you could just play them over and over. It was one of the few games that I didn't mind with the lack of maps they had for that game mode. It just worked. It just works, says Todd Howard, a little douche. It was just memorable in its own right. I can't stop talking about how memorable it was. You know, all the different sniping points, all the places where you would hide, picking up the swords, the snipers, getting the bazookas, flamethrowers, the Uzis. Oh my god, man. It was just a blast. And I really wish that the game would get remade and they would have that mode in there. I really do. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate it's not in there. Well, you know what? You can't play it on the Rare Replay. I forgot. You can play the multiplayer, but I wish they added an online to it. That would have been fucking crazy cool. But I think you can still play it on Rare Replay with your friends, the multiplayer, which is great. This is one of those 3D platforming games that you had to have played. This is it's one of the best looking N64 games too, believe it or not. I think you needed the expansion pack for this game. I think Rareware started to do that because you needed it for Perfect Dark, you needed it for Donkey Kong Country 64. They were going all out. They were not messing around with the graphics of the N64. They wanted to push the limits. Okay, Pokemon Stadium is the next one. Oh my god, the Pokemon Stadium. Oh my god. Oh god, guys. The amount of endless fun Pokemon 3D arena battle, or just like competitive Pokemon battling. Oh my gosh. Talk about a genius game. You want to know how I got this game, guys? I saved up my fucking lunch money when I was living in California. I saved up $60 worth of lunch money, and it took me a month to do. By the way, I was a good moocher. I was a good beggar for food, a good dog, good lost puppy. I starved for this fucking game. Okay, I remember to this day. What? No, no.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I still remember to this day of walking up. Okay, let's first describe how I even came to be to this game, why I did it. Pokemon Stadium was a game that was being tested and played at Target or Walmart, to where the console was just on, people can walk by and just play the game. That's how it be, guys. That's how I was first introduced to Pokemon Stadium, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this? Holy crap! This is awesome! 3D Pokemon adventure, woo!" Like dope as hell, right? That's when I fell in love with it and I wanted it. This is when blue version and red version was out, and then eventually I think yellow version was out at this time. Like I said, I saved up $50 to $60 worth of lunch money. I remember walking up to the guy and I'm like, I want to buy this game. I was like, guys, I was like 9 years old or something. Okay. And I got the game and I put it in to my console when I got home, and I was just like, oh, I was just playing it days on end. It was so fun. Now, this is a game where you can battle each other, monsters, all 150 Pokemon in there. Really fun Pokemon mini games and stuff, almost like Mario Party style. That was fun. A lot of people like playing the mini games in Pokemon Stadium. Now, this is what made this game last. That still holds a special place in my heart. You could play your Gen 1 games on the Pokemon Stadium because it came with a controller pack that plugs to the back of your N64 controller, and you can put your yellow, blue, and red version in it and play it on the big screen on Pokemon Stadium. Okay? And guess what? Not only that, you could transfer your Pokemon from the game, while in the controller, into Pokemon Stadium, and you can duke it out in a 3D plane against your friends. How fucking cool was that? I mean, come on, it was so perfect. The golden memory of my life was when I was with my friends in California. We had a Pokemon Stadium game running, right? We all had our own Pokemon games to play. We had yellow, we had blue, we had red, and then I think this is when gold version and silver version were out. But anyway, it's besides the point. I just remember all three of us. There was a couple other 4 brothers, okay, but I think one of them we were taking turns on playing it. I don't remember, but I remember that I was playing on the big screen. No, my friend was playing on the big screen. I was playing in a box fort on their patio out back, which is right next to their living room. So we were all pretty close to gaming proximity. And I was playing on the Game Boy Color, and my other friend was playing on the Game Boy Color. We were all playing Pokemon at the same time. It was so cool, so nerdy, but it was awesome to do. And then we were just duking it out on Pokemon Stadium after that and just playing the minigames. Oh my god, it was so fun. Pokemon Stadium 2 obviously was the better version because it had Gen 2 Pokemon in it, and more minigames, but man, I miss Pokemon Stadium. By the way, you could put your name on the cartridge of Pokemon Stadium. It's like they knew people would try to steal it. Look, I feel bad for doing this. I stole Pokemon Gold and Silver from my friend. I actually borrowed it, and I just kept it, and he just forgot about it and never said anything about it. So, I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I feel really bad. Kids, right? I don't know why I did that. I guess I just really wanted it, even though I had the first game. Alright, last but not least, Super Smash Brothers. If we want to know another game talking about competition, oh my god, another fantastic multiplayer game. I still own this game, by the way, and I think I was first introduced to this game by the commercials on TV, and I think from what I saw on computer. Yeah, that's right, Windows 95, motherfuckers, or Windows 98 at the time, I think. Another fantastic game, this time a fighting Nintendo game, a brawler. This was like Nintendo's Mortal Kombat almost. And let me tell you, fierce competition to be had in this game. And of course, Mario Party, and of course, Mario Kart, Goldeneye. I mean, oh my god, any multiplayer game got really competitive on the N64. But Super Smash Bros. Just got me so happy because your favorite Nintendo stars are duking it out on all their dope-ass levels. And the music is all there. The game's functionality worked. The physics were, well, you know, for the time were great. It was oh my god, it was this non-stop Nintendo beat 'em up action, like just fighting game. 4 players on the same screen, just trying to beat the shit out of each other. There's nothing much better than that, than just wrapping all your favorite Nintendo characters, putting them under one roof, and just fighting each other. It's just a blast. And now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is out, and that game is a fucking masterpiece. I love Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's my favorite. But Super Smash Bros. Was number 1. I still have it. I remember just getting and being so proud of having the game with the box and everything. Oh my god. The N64 was so legendary. Oh my god. Remember, this was the first console I ever owned, guys, so it was just so amazing. Now, there are a bunch of other games that I've had that I haven't talked about. Okay, I think this is actually the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, Mario Kart 64. I'm going to say I love Super Nintendo Mario Kart, and I love the 3D version of this. Mario Kart 64 was definitely the biggest multiplayer game to play with your friends besides Goldeneye. I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure Mario Kart and Goldeneye were competing against each other for biggest multiplayer games to be ever played. You want to talk about just another perfect game? My god, the N64 just had the perfect multiplayer games. I can't stress it enough, guys. All these games I listed, you need to try out. You really do. When Mario Kart 64, picking your favorite character, racing, of course, finding all the neat shortcuts through the really fun levels, just seeing everything in 3D format was just great. 4-player action, you know, coming from the 2-player concept from the Super Nintendo. It was just night and day difference, guys. It was fantastic. I can't stress it enough. So, in conclusion to this, we didn't get through the top 10 list of other stuff I had to talk about, but you know, this was a fun thing. The N64, I still own it to this day. I do want to build up the legacy of the games I used to have eventually and play it again. This was a blast to talk about. Now, we all have our first consoles that we've ever owned that hold a special place in my heart. The N64 was my very first console, and it will stay with me for the rest of my life, and I will never trade that bad boy. I don't care what you motherfuckers say. It will always be mine. And Zelda Ocarina of Time was the first game to make it in Niko's top 3 list. So, I appreciate Nintendo for doing that, and I appreciate you guys for hearing me out. Let me know what you guys think was your favorite moments of the N64, and if you ever dabbled into it. And also, let me know what was your first amazing console ownage experience. I want to know. You know, what was the console that really, really had a special place in your childhood, in your childlike heart? But to end it on a high note, I just want to say thanks, guys, for stopping by the Niko Show. This was the N64 episode. You guys were great. Round of applause all the way around. Yep, bringing up. This is our 64th episode. I wanted to make it something really special. And I'm going to do my best to make the next episode. By the time you hear this, it'll probably have come out by now, so bear with me. If you're hearing this on Spotify especially. The Star Wars edition. That's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk all about that shit. It's gonna be a blast. So, how can you find NikoTheLegend? I am on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. I am on Spotify. Now on Twitch, it's NikoTheLegend, one word. On YouTube, it's NikoTheLegend. But if you want to find me on Spotify, it's The Niko Show by Nicholas Sorokin. That's all you have to worry about, guys. Look for the frog with a sword right as you see on the screen here. I have been your wonderful host and nerd, NikoTheLegend. And Pathfinders, you have a great day. And just remember what's truly special in your heart. For me, it was the N64, and it was such a blast to talk about this. You guys have a great day. And just remember, make sure you wear a condom.